Hey, this is Monique. I just wanted to create this video to talk with you about something that I think is something that people don't really like to talk about, but yet it's a fact of life, and that is, dealing with the loss of a loved one, death, especially suddenly. And I know this is probably not a popular topic, but the death of my girlfriend suddenly has really prompted me to share on a level that I've always wanted to share on, but just never really had the courage to share on. And so today I wanted to talk about how, I'm coping, or how I am dealing with the sudden loss of a girlfriend. And I hope that it will help you if you're someone that's going through a loss right now. This weekend I had planned, today is Sunday, the time of this recording. And this weekend I had planned on Saturday, that's my day of rest, to just kind of take it easy. My daughter had a meeting, so I took her to her meeting, and I was just kind of hanging out at the library while I waited for her to finish her meeting. And I was doing some work on some things. And the beautiful thing about this is I do have the two businesses, and so my business was still in operation. My agent was still working, so I was happy about that, and just in gratitude about the whole thing. And I'm working and putting content together, and I get this phone call from my girlfriend, and I'm thinking that she was just calling to check up on me to see how I finished celebrating my birthday, which was several days ago, and just to catch up. And she called to tell me that one of our girlfriends had passed away suddenly. She was in the shower on vacation, and she died in the shower, collapsed. So I guess what struck me deeply is the fact that this was someone that was not much older than I am, and the fact that we had kids same age, and the fact that I just saw her, unplanned, a week ago in the grocery store. She lives a good ways from me. I would say she's about 25 minutes from me. So for her to be in a grocery store near my home, and I happened to be there, and it was during the day. I was coming from the gym. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. It was like, I never see you over here kind of thing. And for me, it was, when I saw her, it was a treat. We talked, and she was excited about her trip. But the interesting thing is, she mentioned to me that I inspired her to take care of herself. I inspired her. So she was happy to take this trip, and she was happy, to do something nice for herself, and, on and on and on. She also encouraged me to get a phone for my daughter. So I'm going to have to do that. But I didn't know that would be the last time I'd see her. And it's not someone I saw every day, but it's certainly someone that I knew. And so the way this hit me has been extra deep, not only because it's someone that I knew, but because it was someone that was essentially my age, full of life. And just like that, Elohim calls her home. And, I'm totally 100% inspired now to share and give everything I've got. And so here's how I view, death, and the whole idea of dealing with death. I honestly believe that we are here, and we are people or energy inside of a body, and that science tells me that energy um, cannot be destroyed. It can only be transferred. So if the body can no longer withstand physically and carry this being, this energy, then it must go somewhere. Well, when I read the Bible and different texts, other texts, they tell me that there is a waiting place on the other side, and there are people there who are essentially asleep, what we would call asleep, but they're actually waiting. Without getting too deep into the spiritual things, all I can say is what gives me comfort is knowing that my girlfriend is no longer in this physical body where she can experience pain, but she's in a situation where she's free and eternally in a place where she gets to go be with Elohim. So that excites me, and that helps me to move forward. But I tell you this, the sudden movement, the sudden shift of this energy, the sudden transition has really caused me to really understand that tomorrow's promised to no one. And it's up to all of us who are here to plug in deeply, to understand what our assignment is and what our purpose is, and to move accordingly in that purpose. I just happen to believe, and I guess this is another way for me to feel a little bit of consolation about this whole thing. I happen to believe that her assignment was over, because she did passed while she was on vacation, but she could have been here at home and passed as well. No one knows when they're going to be called. They just get called. And I know that she's done great things in her life. And my prayer right now is that I get to do the things in my life that God has set aside for me to do. And to the best of my ability, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, the way I deal with death is knowing that the person is no longer in any type of suffering in this body where you can feel pain, but they're in a situation where they have an opportunity to dwell eternally with Elohim or God the Father, and that we are here on assignment. And really, this journey is all about us defining and understanding what that assignment is and then walking through that assignment. For some of us, we can get our work done in 2 years. For some of us, it takes a lot longer, 90 years, 100 years, whatever God decides. I know it's up for us to steward the time that we do have on earth and to plug in. So I wanted to share with you some tools that I use to just kind of plug in, to ensure that I am aware of what God is saying in the moment, um, at least where I cultivate that awareness. I don't always know, but I'm cultivating the awareness so that I get closer and closer to Him and know what He's saying and what He's having me to do. One of the habits that I do have is I do like to pray, and I do pray on a regular basis. And what that looks like is, I give Him thanks and gratitude for whatever it is I'm grateful for. And then I praise Him, and then I go into what my request is, what my concerns are. And then I thank Him and I trust that they are heard. And let me tell you, I believe 100% they are heard. If you guys have seen my previous video, you've known that I have had visitations from the heavenlies, and that only started to happen when I learned to let go of things I could no longer control and develop a deeper sense of faith. And so I encourage you to do the same thing too. So, what I'm doing now over the next mm, several months to through the end of the year pretty much is I'm going to be dropping, teaching and quotes and just different things I've learned over the years to share with you. I invite you to join me. So I'm going to give you my link to my Facebook group here in this video when I'm done. And you can click on it. You can friend me, friend request me. I'm going to put it on my business page. You can like it. I appreciate it if you do. You can also subscribe to this channel. But, just follow me, and I'm going to be share. My commitment to God is I'm going to share um, what He has so gracefully taught me over the years, because I honestly feel that you can do life joyfully, you can do life successfully, and even if you have concerns, even if you have things going on in your life, no one is immune to obstacles and things that come up. But there's a way that we can handle them where we can powerfully step into our truth and step into our victory, whatever that looks like. So I'll be sharing that. And that's actually what I was working on when I got the news. So I kind of have to get caught up now. But I just wanted to drop a video on basically the tools that I'm using to help me process the death, which is really to get close to prayer and to help me as I pray to start to be aware of who I am and aware of where I'm concerned and bring those concerns to Him. The more I bring those concerns to Him and I let go of trying to control the outcomes, the easier life becomes. And so that's my message to you today. Kind of disjointed, but I didn't really plan out all of this. I just wanted to share. So I hope that you have an amazing day. Come back often. So number one, subscribe to the channel. Number two, click on the link below, and you can join me for my videos. Send me a friend request. God bless you, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.